performed by our graduating senior, Asha Smith. Welcome everyone to Denver Online High School's 2017 graduation. Please first help me in giving a very warm welcome to our visiting dignitaries, School Board Representative Elisa Flores, Senior Data Assessment Partner Ed Salem, Concurrent Enrollment Liaison, Erica Ryan. And Concurrent Enrollment Manager, Elisa Harding. Next, please help me in giving a very big round of applause to our amazing faculty at Denver Online High School. Next, please give a big thank you to our graduates' biggest supporters, their family and friends. And finally, let's give it up, y'all, to these guys, our 2017 graduates. We're so glad that all of you guys joined us tonight. So I wanted to start out the night by just saying that, can't we all agree that Colorado is one of the best states ever to live in? It's stunning, right? There are so many countless trails all over these mountains to explore, and the scenes and the adventures never really seem to get old. Now, I was recently on a hike to Hanging Lake. Who's been before? Raise your hands. Yeah, a lot of you. Well, for those of you guys who have not gone before, spoiler alert, at the very top there is a body of water, and it is the most vibrant shade of turquoise you'll ever find. It is absolutely breathtaking. But maybe what caught my attention the most on that hike, up to that trail, were the two hikers that we were following. There was a man and a woman. Now, at first, I was a little bit annoyed because they were going kind of slow, but then I started to watch the woman's footsteps. The woman cautiously fought to find her balance on solid ground amongst a trail that was marked by a series of stepping stones. When her foot would fall through the crevice, she would fight to regain her balance before she carefully took the next step forward. And then I watched the man who was with her. The man held her hand the entire time and continuously gave her cues about what was around her and what was in front of her. He would say things like, "Watch out because there's going to be a rock wall on your right, so duck a little bit." Or, "Take a step up in your left, it's a little bit higher." So the woman was blind, and the man was helping her to experience this incredible adventure on this trail, one thoughtful step at a time. And I thought, isn't that so representative of so many of life's adventures? We have so many options, so many trails, so many choices in front of us. But no matter which one we choose, or no matter how hard we try, we will always go into it just a little bit blindly. Now, I want you guys to think back about your first day of high school. Now, I bet your journey to this point looks a little bit different than you might have originally intended. Yeah? You might have had a few missteps along the way. You might have had a few falls backwards. Come on, raise your hand if you had to pull some all-nighters to get here. Yeah, what's up? I know. And you might have had some giant leaps forward. But regardless, you continue to walk bravely forward with the guidance of all of the people in this room who did their very best to walk right alongside you, including your family, friends, mentors, coaches, teachers. So tonight is about celebrating that journey. Not only are we celebrating you conquering that mountain and making it to graduation, but we're also celebrating all of the moments that it took of grit, determination, encouragement, support, and faith that it took from every single person in this room to help make it to this very special moment tonight. So congratulations, class of 2017. You're so very proud. So throughout the night, we will get to hear some phenomenal stories of triumph from our students. But before we get started, a few orders of business. Please first turn off your cell phones or turn them on silent. And second, please refrain from using any noisemakers throughout the evening. All right, without further ado, help me in welcoming up our very first student speaker of the night, Ms. Kaylee Scott. Well, thank you. Congratulations, class of 2017. Oh my God. Can we just give a round of applause? I just don't think that we can do that enough. I really don't, because, we all came to Denver online for a variety of reasons, but I think to some degree, we can all say that brick and mortar schools didn't really give us the opportunities and the experiences that we wanted and needed so much. So thank you for the attention and support of all of our teachers and everything that it took for us to get here. For me personally, I am somebody that has always adored learning. I am very competitive to a fault. And I've always been this way, a highly competitive girl, didn't accept B's, didn't think a lot of things that other kids thought were funny was also funny. So I joke about it now, but the reason I'm here is because I was super popular and fun in high school and have a good time. So after a rough couple of years in high school, I got sick and spent some time in the hospital, and that was when I kind of started falling behind. I didn't feel like I was at the top level that I had always been. That was part of what got me there. And please be standing for the national anthem performed by our graduating senior, Asha Smith. You may be seated. Welcome everyone to Denver Online High School's 2017 graduation. Please first help me in giving a very warm welcome to our visiting dignitaries, School Board Representative Elisa Flores, Senior Data Assessment Partner Ed Salem, Concurrent Enrollment Liaison Erica Ryan, and Concurrent Enrollment Manager Elisa Harding. Next, please help me in giving a very big round of applause to our amazing faculty at Denver Online High School. And led by our principal, Mr. Raymond. Next, please give a big thank you to our graduates' biggest supporters, their family and friends. And finally, let's give it up, y'all, to these guys, our 2017 graduates. We're so glad that all of you guys joined us tonight. So I wanted to start out the night by just saying that, can we all agree that Colorado is one of the best states ever to live in? It's stunning, right? There are so many countless trails all over these mountains to explore, and the scenes and the adventures never really seem to get old. Now, I was recently on a hike to Hanging Lake. Who's been before? Raise your hands. Yeah, a lot of you. Well, for those of you guys who have not gone before, spoiler alert, at the very top there is a body of water, and it is the most vibrant shade of turquoise you'll ever find. It is absolutely breathtaking. But maybe what caught my attention the most on that hike up to that trail were the two hikers that we were following. There was a man and a woman. Now, at first, I was a little bit annoyed because they were going kind of slow, but then I started to watch the woman's footsteps. The woman cautiously fought to find her balance on solid ground amongst a trail that was marked by a series of stepping stones. When her foot would fall through the crevice, she would fight to regain her balance before she carefully took the next step forward. And then I watched the man who was with her. The man held her hand the entire time and continuously gave her cues about what was around her and what was in front of her. He would say things like, "Watch out because there's going to be a rock wall on your right, so duck a little bit." Or, "Take a step up in your left, it's a little bit higher." So the woman was blind, and the man was helping her to experience this incredible adventure on this trail, one thoughtful step at a time. And I thought, isn't that so representative of so many of life's adventures? We have so many options, so many trails, so many choices in front of us. But no matter which one we choose, or no matter how hard we try, we will always go into it just a little bit blindly. Now, I want you guys to think back about your first day of high school. Now, I bet your journey to this point looks a little bit different than you might have originally intended. Yeah? You might have had a few missteps along the way. You might have had a few falls backwards. Come on, raise your hand if you had to pull some all-nighters to get here. Yeah, what's up? I know. And you might have had some giant leaps forward. But regardless, you continue to walk bravely forward with the guidance of all of the people in this room who did their very best to walk right alongside you, including your family, friends, mentors, coaches, teachers. So tonight is about celebrating that journey. Not only are we celebrating you conquering that mountain and making it to graduation, but we're also celebrating all of the moments that it took of grit, determination, encouragement, support, and faith that it took from every single person in this room to help make it to this very special moment tonight. So congratulations, class of 2017. You're so very proud. So throughout the night, we will get to hear some phenomenal stories of triumph from our students. But before we get started, a few orders of business. Please first turn off your cell phones or turn them on silent. And second, please refrain from using any noisemakers throughout the evening. All right, without further ado, help me in welcoming up our very first student speaker of the night, Ms. Kaylee Scott. Well, thank you. Congratulations, class of 2017. Oh my God. Can we just give a round of applause? I just don't think that we can do that enough. I really don't, because, you know, we all came to Denver Online for a variety of reasons, but I think to some degree, we can all say that brick and mortar schools didn't really give us the opportunities and the experiences that we wanted and needed so much. So thank you for the attention and support of all of our teachers and everything that it took for us to get here. For me personally, I am somebody that has always adored learning. I am very competitive to a fault. And I've always been this way, you know, a highly competitive girl, didn't accept B's, didn't think a lot of things that other kids thought were funny was also funny. So I joke about it now, but, you know, the reason I'm here is because I was super popular and fun in high school and have a good time. So after a rough couple of years in high school, I got sick and spent some time in the hospital, you know, and that was when I kind of started falling behind. I didn't feel like I was at the top level that I had always been. That was part of what got me there. And I remember feeling really lost and I had no motivation anymore to want to graduate, to want to be here. And when I finally came to Denver Online, I met Miss Nadia Coleman, and I met so many wonderful people in my class 2017 who I'm graduating with, who made me feel at home and made me feel safe, like I had a safe learning environment, a safe place to be. And I am here today, and I couldn't say that necessarily without this place. So I want you all to know that this is your day, and I want you to celebrate it, regardless of how long it took you to get here, regardless of whether it took you more than one try to get here, because you did it your way. And despite adversity, you made it. And we're a group of painters and parents and future medical students, and we did things differently, we got a head start, and congratulations to all of you. Thank you. Good job, Katie. All right, now please help me welcome you up, our second student speaker of the night, Martin Zip.
Hello everybody tonight. I would like to start off by congratulating you guys today. Today is your day. No matter how you guys want to say it, no matter how you guys see it. So guys, today you guys made it. It's a special day. I know we've all gotten here to sweat, tears, hard work, and maybe some Red Bulls. Okay, a lot of Red Bulls. You know, getting here has not been easy. And future's paths might won't take you either. Our future depends upon you guys. It all depends on what you guys want to do. I also wrote you guys a little rap, if you guys would like to hear it. This is how it goes. Had a good day and you know why. Today's graduation and I feel high. Of course, of the world, just like Bill Nye. Aware of our surrounding, that's no lie. We know the world ain't no joke, so I tell you my verse with no choke. Today is Thursday, feel woke. Like tomorrow, it's over, real world. Stand up and take a bow, for this is your time now. I made it and I'm standing here for all those who had fear. We just made it disappear. I still can't believe grad day is here. Have been sleep deprived all damn year. 3 years passed and it's all over. It's all over.
So we don't just have some amazing student speakers, but we also have some great student talent for you. Please help me welcome Savvy Gunther performing. welcoming our next student speaker of the night, Angelique Finney.
First, I want to start off by saying congratulations. It is 2017 and we all made it, and we're here tonight. And that's a wonderful thing. Tell me not. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. But high school for me did not go as I once planned. In fact, it was nothing I imagined high school to be. High school is what we all dream of because we have homecoming, prom, school dances, and we also have those prep rallies we all look forward to. And we also look forward to graduating high school. I struggled throughout my first year of high school because of past head injury I had received in 8th grade. Although my teachers told me I was very intelligent, they made me believe that I was actually too smart and the work was too easy for me. Eventually, to find out throughout the next few years of high school, it would only play a role in the young lady I was going to become. I began to do things I never thought I would do. I began to skip school more often, and I started getting fights. My sophomore year, I wanted to be someone that no one else in high school was. I wanted to stand out and be the life of the party. That went somewhat how I planned, except I started to lose interest in school. I wanted to do things my way because I was called a popular girl. And I felt that I needed to keep up with that need. Eventually it got to my head until I got hit with reality. It was near the end of my sophomore year when my mother started to struggle financially. For the first time, we were at risk of losing our home. This made me change who I was becoming, and I started to humble myself more. Once I turned 16, I found a job so I could take away the stress of the race for my mother. Once I started working, I realized how much I loved it, and soon it became more important than school. And of course, I met a guy at my job. And soon, talking to this guy and working became my #1 priority. My junior year had started, and I had already began to set aside school for work and this guy I had a high interest in. School was no longer important. Instead, I just did work so I could get through with school and just let it pass by. That was until one day when I faced the biggest challenge a child could face, and that was racism from my very own teacher. I would turn assignments in, and I would get them back with a grade on it. So once I received it, I would just throw it away. A week went by, and I realized I was failing this class. Not because I wanted to, but because he didn't want me to. A little later after that, I was kicked out of school, and in the middle of my junior year, leaving me with no school to attend and losing all my credits for first semester. Imagine the toll that takes on a student, a young lady, someone who had hopes, goals, and dreams of being somebody one day. I found out online because going to an online school was my last resort in order to be somebody I always wanted to be. I had goals set to study law and work with law enforcement. I wanted to be successful and have a career. I always dreamed of, and Denver Online saved me from not only dropping off from school, but from losing hope in my future. Second semester of junior year, I was enrolled into Denver Online, but I started getting frustrated with school. I was discouraged because I felt that I would never graduate with my age group, so I lost interest in school once again. I started working full-time and nearly gave up on school, which caused me to lose all my credits for junior year. But with the support of my teachers and parents, I gave school one more try. I was lucky because I had enough credits to be considered a senior, which gave me hope that I would graduate once more. Gladly, I can say I am here with you today, and after only attending 3 years of high school, with all the ups and the downs and the fears and the challenges I faced, I proudly get to say that I made it, and today is the day I get to graduate with the class of 2017. No matter the challenges we face or the struggles we have dealt with, we all probably get to say this year is our year.
Great job. Now please help me welcoming our next student speaker of the night, Jordan Valdez. Since the day I started kindergarten, I hoped I could be speaking on stage for graduation. Granted, I was a little social butterfly whose parents were always told, Jordan is doing great, except the fact that she talks to whoever she sits by, no matter what, at every parent-teacher conference. I was a little girl who just wanted to tell the world how she felt. I lost a sense of self somewhere along my schooling career. I forgot about my desire to learn and my crave for knowledge. But because of Denver Online and the incredible people involved here, I was able to find my inner self again. I'm eternally grateful to be given this opportunity, and I could add this to the dreams this school has allowed me to find and accomplish. You would think that being at an online school, we would be antisocial and teachers would never know our faces.
But on my second day of orientation in fall, I walked through the doors and Ian greeted me by my first name accompanied by a high five. He had only known us for 2 days and he was already making connections. This has happened every connection day since, except the days I managed to be late, despite not having to be there at 9 a.m. Sidebar. This little gesture may have been insignificant, but when I visited my old high school I had attended for 3 whole years a few months ago, the principal didn't even have a clue I went there, yet alone that I left. Ian and his staff here take the time to get to know you, build a welcoming environment, and they generally want us to succeed. I can't tell you how many times I've spent hours talking to Miss Levy, Casey, Shayna, or Ian about school and life in general. They helped better me as an individual and made me feel cared for, which is more than I ever expected coming here. Back in October, Casey and Ian joked about how the only problem they ever had with me is that I didn't come here until my senior year. Casey tried to find a way to film me without me hating him up until the final day of senior checkout. Every one of the teachers here wants us to triumph, and I hope they impacted my fellow graduates the way they've impacted me. I want to make sure amongst today's excitement, I acknowledge my parents for allowing me to come to online school, no matter how fearful they were. You both have pushed me to be the best me, and I am forever grateful that I was blessed enough to have the 2 of you and the siblings you gave me. You never let any of us dream small. I don't know how many times I told you an absurd idea, and your only response was, if you want to do it, we will find a way. I know the world would be a much better place if everyone had parents like me. So I thank you for patching up every scraped knee, broken heart, and every problem I ever came to you with. Thank you, Mom, for being my very best friend and teaching me to be outgoing. And Dad for teaching me how I should be loved in this world and for telling the ultimate dad jokes. And to both of you for being high school sweetheart relationship goals. I hope I've made you proud. Now, my graduating class. I've only been at them online for a year, but I have had the pleasure to meet so many of you. You'd be surprised how much a lot of us talk for only seeing each other once a month. I wouldn't want to graduate with a different group of people. I'm honored to be here with each of you. We all came here for so many different reasons, but predominantly it was because brick and mortars were in our forte. High school wasn't the time of our lives that we were promised. Going to a quote-unquote alternative school always makes you sound like a troubled kid, which granted most of us are. But the fact that each of us graduated, no matter how many times we thought we wouldn't, proves we aren't half bad. Many of us surpassed the minimal things we could have accomplished somewhere else. I know that most of you will already be done with technical school, college, and cosmetology school all very soon. Or you're going off to the military, or even continue to work your full-time job, and that is also amazing. I hope that's what you remember when you leave here today, that you did it. You did it while you traveled, or parented, or held down that full-time job. We did it despite every obstacle that brought us here, and if nobody, or even everybody tells you today, I am proud of you, and I wish nothing but the best in your future endeavors. We made it, class of 2017. Jordan, and also she helped make the Snapchat filter. If you guys have tried it out tonight, doing that. Plug. We have some incredible graduates this year, but we also have some pretty phenomenal alumni as well. So please help me in welcoming last year's 2016 valedictorian, Adele Sutton. I actually had a rap prepared for tonight as well, but it looks like I'm going to have to cut it, so I'll shoot the speech. Okay. Teachers, faculty, and graduates, it is a great honor to speak in front of you today. Class of 2017, can you believe this day is finally here? Graduates, today is today. Today is your day. Up until this point, you were children. You came from immensely different backgrounds. Some of you worked 2 jobs throughout high school, some pursued passions in the arts, some worked overtime to raise their children and complete their degrees. You all know the small and large battles and monsters you faced to make it to this point. But what would you say if I stated that this is only the beginning of your journey? That no matter what you face today with your high school degree, you have a fresh start. If you don't stand up for yourself, no one else will. This statement, while being accurate, has most likely not applied to your experience at Denver Online High School. Let me tell you, there have never been a group of people more passionate about the individual successes of a student. Think about the time you were struggling to complete a class, or you fell behind. Most likely, there was someone there. Whether it was a teacher, fellow student, or a counselor, they fought for you and stood up for your success. You were able to get back on track, and I know this because you're sitting here today, waiting to receive your high school diploma. Just let this sink in.
I can't promise the world will advocate for you. Most likely, it will not. You will have to fight every day to make the world see you, to make the world believe in you. In school, work, and even in your personal life, you will have people tell you no. You will have people tell you they don't believe in you. But let me tell you, because of the support and dedication we've received at this high school, you'll be in a better position to prove them wrong. Because not all knowledge the teachers here have shared is in the curriculum. They made that extra effort to put you, graduates, in a better place than you were before, and because of that, you're able to tackle rejection and denial. You are able to say, actually, I can't. I started at the University of Denver last fall. I'm somewhat of a quiet person when it comes to large groups or people I don't know, so essentially every possible scenario in college. The first quarter of school, halfway through a not-so-fun business calculus class, I wrote down this quote down on a Post-it note and put it up on my desk where I do all my homework. The quote reads, "If you don't go after what you want, you'll never have it. If you don't ask, the answer is no. If you don't step forward, you're always in the same place." Every time I am too shy to come forward or feel like going into my shell, I read this quote. If you don't ask, the answer is no. When I'm struggling to work through a difficult homework assignment, if you don't go after what you want, you'll never have it. When I'm considering the challenging classes I have to take in the years ahead, if you don't step forward, you're always in the same place. That is my advice to you, class of 2017. I know most of you are taking dramatically different paths after this day. Some of you will go immediately to work, some of you will go to college, some will join the military, and some of you will focus your time and efforts on your family. Each of these paths is respectable, one is not superior to another. You're off to great places, no doubt about it. You have been getting that push and that degree by the incredible faculty of Denver Online High School. Your next move. Just remember, if you don't go after what you want, you'll never have it. If you don't ask, the answer is no. If you don't step forward, you're always in the same place. Congratulations to the class of 2017.
All right, now for our final graduating senior of the night and our valedictorian of the 2017 class, Miss Patty Stearns.
Class of 2017, I'd like you to raise your hand if you had someone who supported you through high school, through every up and down you faced. If you had someone who was there for you when you needed them most, when you felt like giving up, I want you to make sure that you thank them at some point today. I also want you to acknowledge yourself. Acknowledge your perseverance, strength, and drive. Whenever you came across a bump in the road, you were ultimately the person that decided to keep going. You didn't give up, you did more, and that's why you're here today. That's the reason you're about to walk across this stage. I can't stand up here and give you the classic valedictorian speech about all the memories we've made together in the past 4 years, because that wouldn't be true. The truth is, I don't know many of you, and today is the first time I'm seeing many of your faces. We all came to Denver Online High School for unique reasons, and although mine is different than yours, we all have at least two things in common. We've all taken the less traditional road through high school, and we all did more to get to where we are today. Whether that was working a full-time job, athletics, raising a family, participating in the arts, overcoming other family or school-related issues, we all did more to get to this very moment. Today, I'm going to share my story with you. I don't have enough time to get in every detail about my experiences, but I'll do my best. I've been attending Denver Online High School since the summer after 8th grade. When I was growing up, my friends and I always talked about how we'd attend a big high school like East or GW, and it would be just like High School Musical. Because of course we'd end each year singing "We're All in This Together" in a big musical finale. But over the years, my priorities changed, and I found that I was in love. I was in love with alpine ski racing. I was fortunate enough to be given the opportunity to start ski training full-time. I quickly found a lot of other doors closing. Brick and mortar schools told me I simply wouldn't be able to train that many days a week because I'd miss too much in-class time, even if I made up the work and maintained my grades. That's when I discovered DOHS. They offered me the flexibility to pursue my passions outside of school. Mike Clem introduced me to my new dream high school experience. I felt like I could succeed in the environment, and I did, but I still wanted to do more athletically. My family moved to Vail over the summer in 2014, before my sophomore year, so that I could train with Ski and Snowboard Club Vail. This meant leaving behind my Denver friends and my Rapids Academy soccer team, but I knew it was the right decision. With the support of DOHS, I began taking concurrent enrollment classes at Colorado Mountain College that fall. My whole plan changed on December 12, 2014, when I sustained a knee injury in training the day before my first race. I couldn't participate in the sports I loved so much for the 10 months it took me to recover from surgery. I felt lost, like I didn't have my purpose anymore, and that's where those supportive people stepped in to help me. My brother took me to hockey games so that I could meet his new traditional high school friend group, some of whom are here today. My counselor, Casey Burton, as well as Ian Jones, encouraged me to take more dual enrollment classes while I recovered and challenged myself academically. Numerous other people, including my surgeon, physical therapist, and my parents, made sure I continued setting high goals for myself academically, socially, and athletically. Not only did they help me set those goals, they made sure I achieved them too. When I returned to ski racing and soccer my junior year, I was more determined than ever. Nothing could stop me. Not a soccer concussion or a mountain biking accident that landed me in the ER again. I wasn't going to give up. I decided I was going to take all of my classes as dual enrollment with the tentative goal to get my Associate of Arts by the time I graduated from high school. My returning ski race season was incredibly difficult. All of my ski team friends had gotten immensely better in the year I'd been gone. When I watched them, it felt like I was watching where I should have been. My mind was holding me back from getting the results I wanted. I finally realized the reason I was holding back was because I was afraid of getting injured again, which would prevent me from playing soccer. Getting injured brought me clarity. I realized I was more passionate about soccer than skiing and wanted to play in college. I've always thrived on people underestimating me because I know I'd do anything I possibly could to prove them wrong. That's why when a coach of mine told me I'd never play NCAA college soccer, I knew exactly what I was going to do. I was going to play NCAA soccer at a highly ranked academic college. The only problem was that I had absolutely no idea how to get recruited, where I wanted to go, or what I was interested in studying. I began the recruiting process last summer. I met a lot of coaches who liked me, and I met an equal amount who did not. This just made me more determined. Last September, I visited Smith College, one of the original Seven Sisters colleges, and one that was recruiting me for soccer. I found myself thinking for the first time, wow, I could really see myself here. As it turns out, I'll be seeing myself there in 2 months and 27 days, or about 125,730 minutes, in case you were curious, as an NCAA D3 Smith pioneer. Like you, I succeeded because of those who supported me, and I succeeded because of those who didn't. So I'd like to say thank you first to those who supported me. To everyone at Denver Online High School, Colorado Mountain College, my family, and my friends for allowing me to make my dreams come true and encouraging me to keep reaching for the stars. To those who knocked me down, physically or mentally, I'd like to thank you as well. Thank you for teaching me how to get back up when someone, something, or some circumstance knocks me down. Class of 2017, we should be extraordinarily proud of what we're accomplishing today. Most speakers would tell you to get out there and change the world, and probably close with some inspirational quote. But I'm not going to do that. I challenge you, class of 2017, to live in the moment. Enjoy today. Celebrate with your family and friends and be proud of what you've just accomplished. Just for today, Don't burden yourself with the pressures of what you're going to do tomorrow. Reflect on how Denver Online High School helped you do more, and acknowledge everything you've overcome to get there. Then smile, because you all did it. Thank you.
Patty, and congratulations on a good job well done. Now please help me welcome up Principal Ian Jones, Assistant Principal Jennifer Weedasek, Counselor Casey Burton, and our visiting dignitaries Lisa Flores and Ed Salem to present our graduating seniors with their 2017 high school diplomas.
Hello, welcome everyone. I'm Casey Burton. That's Casey Sintek. Other than the name, there's nothing good to say about me. I would like to, before we recognize the class of 2017, I'd like to again thank all of the parents, mentors, teachers, staff, and friends who've all contributed to the success of the graduates we're here to honor today. I'd also like to recognize 4 special guests. We talked about Eliza Harding and Erica Ryan. They helped make possible the over 350 cumulative college credits at 10 different colleges that our seniors have taken and passed throughout high school. I would also like to thank Adele for coming. I asked her to do this a couple months ago, and there's not too many high school, or kids who've graduated high school who are willing to come back and speak at their graduation the following year. Adele's a very humble person, but if you ever go to a DU game, look for her. She is a DU cheerleader, and she's a fantastic dancer, so be sure to be on the lookout for her. And then the last person I'd like to recognize, I can't see him right now, Mike Glenmore, stand up. Mike is our former principal before Mr. Jones came to us 3 years ago. There's still a few seniors in this room who remember Mr. Clem. He's my friend and one of the kindest people I've ever had the pleasure to meet. So thanks for coming, Mike. As an online school, our students don't have many opportunities to gather together, and as a result, they don't know each other very well. While this makes for very well-behaved graduates, it also means they're virtual strangers to each other. At our rehearsal last week, it became apparent just how different they all are. Our graduates this year range in age from 16 to 21. Some are graduating in just 3 years, while others have refused to give up and are finishing today in their 60th. Some of our graduates are parents or primary caregivers, or have spouses, or care for other family members, and others still have a bedtime. Some live in Denver, and others live in different cities, states, and even countries. However, all of these very different people share the fact that they chose the road less traveled by enrolling at Denver Online. There are as many stories as there are students, and as a part of the Denver Online tradition, we'd like to share a little bit of each graduate's story as they take the stage to accept their diploma. Before we do, however, I would like to quickly read the names of the graduates who could not attend today due to work, distance, or family obligation. Leilani Anderson, Ezekiel Anthony, Mary Beck, Hannah Clark, Jalen Newberry, Stokely Parker, Tyler Roberts, Holly Sherman, and Abby Stage, who actually might come later. Let's give them a Now, the first graduates I'd like to recognize also couldn't attend today in person due to distance. But since we're an online school, we'd be remiss if we didn't find a way to have them attend virtually. So we're going to try and get them up on our screen here and talk a little bit about each one of them. Once our projector works. I know, it went off like right when we needed it. There he is. All right, first up, Kyle McCoy. Kyle recently moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico, which is your loss because he's not available to sign autographs. Kyle has spent most of the past 3 years on his own in Moscow, training with the Bolshoi Ballet. To our knowledge, he's the first North American male to ever be invited to train with the most elite ballet academy in the world. He spent 12 to 15 hours a day training and then went home each night to his apartment to work on school. Unfortunately, after such an exhaustive schedule, Kyle was forced home after a major health scare this past fall, which has him reassessing his future. However, none of that has stopped him from graduating high school in just 3 years. Cynthia Yuen is our next one. There's Cynthia. Cynthia couldn't be here today because she's lived in Vietnam for the past 3 years. Seriously. This year, she earned the second most credits of any senior by passing 17 classes to graduate on time after falling behind last year. As if that weren't enough, she works up to 80 hours a week running an internet cafe while caring for her 2 children, the youngest of which was born in March. It is currently 4:30 in the morning in Vietnam, which for Cynthia is about the only time of day she isn't busy. So if you ever think you're overwhelmed and can't get it all done, just think of Cynthia. All right, now the folks that are here. First up is Addie Stearns. So along with Kyle just a second ago, Addie is one of only 3 seniors in the class of 2017 to spend her whole high school career at Denver Online. As you heard, she came here to train for ski racing and recently took 4th place in the state in Nordic and Alpine combined. And also in soccer, where she was chosen as her team MVP last year. She's also attending her 2nd graduation this month, having earned an associate's degree with honors from Colorado Mountain College. But Addie also has the distinction of several firsts for Denver Online. She was the first Becher Scholarship finalist in our school's 14-year history, although she did opt out of the running to become the first Denver Online student at a signing ceremony for college athletics. After turning down half a dozen other colleges and scholarships, she signed with Smith College in Massachusetts to play soccer and study in engineering and environmental science. She's also the youngest member of our graduating class and our valedictorian. Jordan Diane Valadez. Jordan came to Denver on the Line at the start of this year because the pace and environment of a brick and mortar school no longer fit her. She is the epitome of our school motto, do more. Traditional high school just couldn't contain her. However, she got involved right away by becoming the vice president of the National Honor Society, where she helped plan the haunted house and almost single-handedly created the school's first yearbook. In this past year, Jordan was able to complete almost a full year of college at CSU Global and CCD, all while working full-time and playing soccer. She was also recognized as a National Merit Hispanic Scholar based on her PSAT scores. Jordan was accepted into Cal State at Monterey Bay to study marine biology, but plans to spend next year completing another year of college tuition-free under the Ascent program right here at CCD. Angelique Finney. Like many of our seniors, as Angelique said, high school didn't go as originally planned for her. After leaving her last school under a cloud, she enrolled at Denver Online, and after initial struggle to adjust to online learning, she never looked back. This year, she was able to catch up on this credit and be here today to graduate on time, and the future is now wide open for Angelique as she plans to enroll in college next fall to study law enforcement. Sadie Yonker. Sadie will be the first to tell you that graduating high school was not a foregone conclusion for her. She's been with us for 3 years, and her saga at Denver Online is a lot like one of those will they, won't they romantic comedies. Every year she said she was leaving, every year she came back to us with our arms wide open. And she's been an integral member of our student body every one of those years, volunteering to help out for every event from prom to the haunted house, often to her own detriment. And now it is with mixed feelings when I say that Savvy will not be coming back next year, having graduated with the class of 2017. Her future is much brighter today because of that, and our school is a better place because of her. Marvin's in. Marvin is not alone in the class of 2017 in that he started out high school in the class of 2016. But, as Mr. Jones likes to say, we don't care when you graduate, we just care that you graduate. Although high school is a rocky road, he improved a lot this year by overcoming senioritis, which is a real thing, to graduate all while living on his own and working full-time. Although we've never done senior superlatives in the past, we're going to start now by designating Marvin the official class clown. Next year, Marvin plans on pursuing a career as a police officer by getting an associate's degree in criminal justice. I hope you'll let me off with a warning if he pulls me over. Kaylee Stotts. Kaylee came to Denver Online during her junior year, and if I have any regrets, it's that she didn't come sooner. If high school popularity was measured by kindness, Kaylee would be prom queen, as she is one of the kindest people you'll ever meet. Since enrolling at Denver Online, Kaylee has been taking concurrent enrollment classes at Front Range Community College and is currently finishing up her certification to become a phlebotomist, or as I like to call it, legal vampire. If anyone's ever going to take my blood, I want it to be her. Asha Smith. Asha came to Denver Online in her sophomore year after spending 4 years at Denver School of the Arts in the creative writing program. Ironically, leaving an art school allowed her more time to pursue her art. As you've seen, Asha took up music by learning the bass guitar, but what you won't believe is that she just started playing last year. The flexibility of Denver Online gave her the time to dedicate several hours a day to her music. Since then, she's played in music venues around the U.S., including Red Rock, Summerfest, and some of the largest music festivals in America. Opening for artists like Mac DeMarco and Glass Animals, she's played with members from Toto, Parliament Funkadelic, the drummer for Pink, and Stevie Nicks, as well as jamming with renowned bassist Victor Wooten. Asha aspires to further her musical education and continue pursuing a career as a professional bassist. She was accepted as one of 170 students worldwide out of 25,000 applicants to go on tour this summer, playing in various famous music venues. She'll be signing autographs soon. Mariam Abdul Latif. If resilience is born out of struggle, then I think it is safe to call Mariam resilient. She started her school career in Baghdad in 2003, the year after the Iraq War began. Her family awoke to the sounds of bombs every day and had to abandon their home more than once in search of safety. Mariam and her family eventually arrived in Syria, where they remained for 7 years until that country also conflicted into civil war, and they were forced to flee to Turkey, where they found no opportunities. So they returned to Iraq only to find that ISIS had taken hold of their country. Mariam and her family finally came to Colorado in 2015 when she was 18 years old, until she had 4 years of high school to complete so. But here she is, just 2 years later as a high school graduate. Mariam not only graduated in half that time, but she also learned English, took classes at the Community College of Denver, got married to her husband Hussein, and is expecting their first child. This young woman has lived the nightmares we only dream of and come out stronger for it. Her entire story is too much to share for this short time, but she will be featured on 9 News interview tomorrow, and I will be watching. traditional high school wasn't working for Keenan, which is ironic because this guy just works. He's had at least one full-time job since he came to Denver Online. He's worked at Waterworld, Oscar Blues Brewery, The Fork, and the Wash Park Grill. Not only that, but he also earned nearly a year of college credit this year through CSU Global and CCD. Keenan plans to finish earning credits toward his first year of college next fall before heading out to see the world. He plans to stop in China, then he'll head west to Europe and Africa before heading back home to Denver. I think he's definitely missing vacation. Emma and Bari. This is hard for me to believe, but Emma almost dropped out of high school before she came to Denver Online. But after earning straight A's this year, including in college classes at CSU Global, I think it's fair to say she made the right decision to stay and graduate. Although she has proven herself more than capable academically, Emma's true passion is hair and cosmetology. Next year, she plans to get her certification in cosmetology to help pay her way for a bachelor's degree in the sciences. Jessica Arias. Jess came to Denver Online for the opportunity to enroll in college courses. This year she took classes with CSU Global and the Community College of Denver. During her high school career, she volunteered with the Special Olympics of Colorado and participated in many extracurricular arts programs. After graduation, she plans to work more with the Special Olympics program in the community. Next year, she will continue to attend CCD tuition-free through the Ascent program, after which she plans to transfer to a four-year university. Go Jess. Melanie Barty. Melanie came to Denver Online during her sophomore year in search of a better fit. Straight A's this spring proved that she found it. Melanie is what I like to call a quiet warrior. She may not always make her voice heard, but she can always be counted on to get the job done. Kids like her make my job easy. She's always looking for a way to give back. She volunteers around her community as much as she can in various ways, such as organizing and donating food over the holidays. She took college classes at the Community College of Aurora and was accepted and plans to enroll at Metro State University next fall to major in biology. She plans on becoming an anesthesiologist in the next 10 years. I don't have it. Tasia Bevel. Tasia dabbled in her classes at Denver Online for the first couple of years, which left her falling further and further behind and tanking her GPA. However, she proved this year that nothing can get in her way when she sets her sights on a goal. She graduates today having earned more credit than any other senior in the class of 2017. And she did it with straight A's while working full-time with a baby on the way. This is a testament to what can be accomplished when you just get to work. Tasia will attend Pickens Tech next fall to earn her certification in cosmetology and barbering, which may seem like a breeze compared to what she did this year.
You got her!
Dylan Carter. Dylan has definitely balanced work and school since he came to Denver Online. He works at the Cherry Tomato, but always found plenty of time to come to school and work on his classes, making him a consistent and welcome presence at school. After taking the welding class at the Career Education Center, he plans to pursue it as a career in the short term with the long-term goal of going to college and starting his own business. Sophia Crawford. Sophia came to Denver Online her junior year to pursue a modeling career. Since then, she's traveled for work to Mexico, Singapore, China, South Korea, Taiwan, and Indonesia. Although her days often lasted more than 15 or more hours and she lived on her own in these various countries, she still managed time to fit in school. She's currently taking a short break from modeling while she finished up her last few classes and to just be a kid. Sophia gave me one inside scoop about the modeling business recently, which is that designers will often put the best-looking model in the ugliest dress to make it look better. Sophia plans on continuing to travel and work for the foreseeable future, so be on the lookout for her in the ugly dress. Natalia De Silva. When she's not busy rolling her eyes and cringing at my terrible dad jokes, Natalia is taking college classes at Front Range or pursuing her own art. She's proven herself to be highly accountable and a responsible and effective self-advocate when she found herself struggling in college math class this spring. Skills that will serve her better than knowing the quadratic equation. Sorry, math teachers. During high school, she has won 2 major art awards and participated in a hip-hop convention at which she advanced through 3 rounds of the final competition. Natalia plans to go to college next fall to major in animation and minor in dance, but hopefully not at the exact same time, because that would make for squiggly drawings. Annalise Dunitz. Her folks are obviously in 2000. Annalise is a recent addition to Denver Online, having moved here from Pennsylvania to live on her own and work full-time in an effort to gain residency to attend CU Boulder. After missing out on the first half of her senior year, she was able to catch up and graduate on time here today, while still working full-time and paying rent. Annalise is looking forward to a gap year next year before she attends CU or heads back to go to Penn State. Skylar Ellenbecker. Skylar dropped out of high school before she came to Denver Online, but she knew she had to get back into school that was a better fit, and it's obvious today that she found it. For the past year, in addition to finishing high school, she's also taken classes at the Pikes Peak Community College, where she earned nearly straight A's, and plans to continue going there next year. All this while being a newlywed, having just gotten married back in February. Monique Flakes. I didn't think Monique was going to make it, but she got it. Monique is another recent but welcome addition to Denver Online, having enrolled back in January, and has shown herself to be a hard worker. She got her first job at just 13 years old working at the Montbello Library. In fact, she worked so hard that she's graduating today in just 3 years. She babysits her cousins and nephews and is certainly their favorite auntie. Monique plans on going to Emily Griffith next year to earn her certification that's the right thing, in cosmetology. Doran Fugel. Doran came to Denver Online from TJ, where he participated in the robotics program. Although Denver Online was supposed to be a temporary solution, he decided to stay on for the spring and take college classes at CCD, where he discovered a love of philosophy. Doran enjoys basketball, video games, hiking, biking, working with dogs, and hanging out with friends. Doran will continue his education at CCD next year, where he can continue to ponder the meaning of life. Destiny Gonzalez. Destiny enrolled at Denver Online 3 years ago, but before that she played soccer at her previous school and was even awarded team MVP. After enrolling at Denver Online, Destiny continued to stay involved and took part in the 4-H programs sponsored by Syntec, where she cared for and auctioned off a lamb at the Adams County Fair to earn a scholarship. She took several college classes at CCD as well. Destiny currently works 2 jobs as an eye technician and retail associate at Old Navy. As if that weren't all enough, Destiny is also the mom of a 2-year-old daughter, Faith. Next fall, she will continue her education at CCD and ultimately transfer to CSU to carry on her love for animals as a veterinarian. Jesus Gonzalez. So, Marvin's the class clown, then Jesus is the ladies' man. Although Jesus lived way out east in Bennett for much of the year, he was a consistent presence at school, as many of the female students and staff can attest. Like many of his classmates, Jesus didn't see himself graduating from high school, but after getting into some trouble last year, he enrolled with us and is now a high school graduate instead of a statistic. Jesus intends to get a certificate in computer coding to get a job and allow him to pay for college down the road. Sarah Griego. It's hard to believe that Sarah, like many of our students, came to Denver Online because of social anxiety. Because the young woman I see today is confident, self-assured, and kind of fun. This past year, Sarah's gone to Emily Griffith Technical College 8 hours a day, 4 days a week, to earn her cosmetology license, as well as completing a full course load at Denver Online. She plans to work next year as the licensed cosmetologist once she completes her program in July. She told me it was going to fall off. I told her I didn't care. Kat Hammer. The young woman you see today is completely different than the girl we first met last year. Kat today is focused, mature, kind, responsible, and respectful. She completed her license in cosmetology back in February and has been working full-time at a salon since then while wrapping up her last few high school classes. As far as her plan for next year, it's weird to say where she's going when she's already arrived. Harper Holbeck. Harper had a son last spring, shortly after enrolling at Denver Online. She took a week off from school, then got back to work earning all A's and B's. This year, things didn't get any easier as she dealt with some family issues, which resulted in her moving out on her own with her son to provide him a safe and stable home. She's learned to be completely self-sufficient by working full-time while completing high school. Harper has already been accepted into the University of Colorado at Colorado Springs, but has opted to start at Red Rocks to save some money on her way to a criminal justice degree. Sarah Jones. Sarah came to Denver Online in her sophomore year after attending the creative writing program at PSA. She continued to hone her writing ability through Denver Online's Lighthouse Writers Workshops and even found a new passion for cooking and baking at the Career Education Center in her junior year. At CEC, she even earned an Excel Award for her outstanding performance in culinary arts. Next fall, Sarah will be moving to Glenwood Springs to study veterinary technology at Colorado Mountain College. Troy Juarez. Troy started high school 6 years ago and was headed down the wrong path. He was suspended and arrested for drugs and fighting, in and out of court, truant, and failing out of school. We never knew that Troy. By the time he enrolled at Denver Online last year, he'd begun to turn his life around. He was working full-time around the clock as a tow truck driver while trying to finish up school, but he was just too overworked and too far behind to finish last year. It would have been really easy to give up after his 5th year of high school and no diploma, but as Troy does, he came back. Today, he is not only a student, he is our co-worker and colleague, having worked for DPS in the food services warehouse for the past year, getting up before dawn each day to make sure our students are fed. Troy is still fighting today because he's now fighting for all the right things. Manar Karim. Like Marion, Manar is also from Iraq and was referred to us by a past DPS graduate and Manar's sister-in-law, Honey Mohammed. Are you here, Honey? Manar told me at the start of this year that she was going to graduate in 3 years, and I'm sorry to say I doubted her because here she is. She spends most of her time at home taking care of her younger brother, but still managed to complete an overloaded schedule to graduate early. She plans to enroll in college next fall. CJ King. CJ went to the Rocky Mountain School of Expeditionary Learning until he enrolled at Denver Online this year. After being told he was not going to graduate on time, even though he's never once failed a class. CJ has enjoyed participating in musical theater in the community since he was 9 years old and plans to continue this after high school. Thanks to the efforts of Mr. Eisen, CJ will also enroll in the School to Work program in Douglas County next year. Kayla Lorette. If every student was as easy to work with as Kayla, I'd be out of a job. Since enrolling at Denver Online, she's chosen challenging classes and made them look easy by always finishing early and earning high grades. After graduation, she's planning to find a job and immediately start working to save up some money so she can enroll in online college courses to earn a degree in the medical field. I'm going to get it right. Alakir Madut. Alakir was working in Arizona for much of the year, so we didn't get to see much of her until recently. Upon her arrival back in Colorado, and thanks again to the efforts of Mr. Eisen, she's able to graduate today. Alakir is planning to attend Jackson State University, a historically black university in Jackson, Mississippi, to play basketball. Ooh, she's pretty good. Adam Mitchell. Adam has been at Denver Online longer than any other student graduating today and most of our staff. When he first enrolled 5 years ago as a ninth grader, he was a bright but unmotivated student carrying a horrible experience over from middle school. He fell behind and stayed behind for the first few years, but out of a horrible tragedy he suffered last year, he found triumph. Adam lost his mom last year. She passed away in her sleep, and since his father's DJ spent much of his time on the road as a long-haul trucker, Adam was the only one home to find him. Adam moved to Canada shortly thereafter to live with an uncle while his dad continued to drive, but he found himself isolated and alone, so his dad quit his job so Adam could come home. Since his return, Adam has made a huge turnaround. He's gotten his driver's license, lost over 100 pounds, participated in the Lighthouse Writers Workshop to rekindle his love of storytelling, become a camp counselor at Ballarat to fifth graders, passed all of his classes with flying colors, and even completed 3 college classes this past spring with a 3.6 GPA. Adam will be moving to Morocco this summer to live with family and intends to enroll at Al Quoin University next fall. On a personal note, Adam, I'm sad to see you leave, but so proud to see you go. Matisse Millette. So, although Matisse has been at Denver Online for 3 years, we haven't seen him all year until today. He moved to Arizona to live with his dad, which made it pretty hard to come in for connection days. So he had a good excuse. Matisse is one of those rare people we call twice exceptional. He is extremely intelligent, but he also has a learning disability. Most people don't understand how you can be both, but if you meet Matisse, you'll soon see that his brain is like a volume of encyclopedias that got all the pages ripped out and spread everywhere. The knowledge is there, but accessing it is beyond frustrating. School's a tough place for a guy like that, and Matisse quickly learned to hate it. However, for a guy who hates school, he's done pretty well. He's gotten involved with video game design and even completed a semester at CCD last spring before he moved to Arizona. This summer, he plans to go on a killer road trip with his friend Asha. Christina Martinez. Christina, I call her Sunshine, is like our school cheerleader if cheerleaders could murder you with an icy glare. Actually, Christina has a heart of gold and is one of the most involved seniors in our school. I just wouldn't want to be on her bad side again. She and her sister Destiny almost single-handedly put together our winter holiday party and silent auction and gave us an eerie glimpse into their home life by providing all of the creepiest decorations for the school haunted house. Mr. Palomino's still having nightmares. In addition to helping out with anything and everything, she is also an NHS officer and graciously put together the senior slideshow you saw playing before the ceremony. Christine has already completed nearly a year of college at Red Rocks and plans to continue there next year, tuition-free under the Ascent program. Mira Murphy. You might not think that a wholesome homeschooled student like Mira would have a dad who's in one of my favorite 90s punk bands, but you'd be wrong. Since joining Denver Online in her sophomore year, after previously being homeschooled, Mira has completed 38 college credit hours at CCD and participates in both the National Honor Society at Denver Online and Phi Theta Kappa, the International Honor Society, two-year colleges. Music is in her blood because she is also a member of the Mile High Guitar Ensemble, a Denver classical guitar group that won their national ensemble competition. Mira aims to complete her associate's degree in economics through the Ascent program next year, and after graduation she plans to attend the University of Colorado Boulder, where she's been accepted into the honors program and awarded the Sewell Award and the Regents Scholarship. She intends to go on to graduate school with the goal of becoming a behavioral economist, and it all started with her very first and best teacher, Mom. Alan Musalek. Alan came to Denver Online in the second semester of his freshman year and was like a ghost for the first year and a half he was with us. We rarely saw him, and when we did, it was startling. After failing classes back-to-back and breaking his leg while training as a Muay Thai fighter, he realized he needed to make a change at the start of his junior year. That change turned his life around as he was walking across this stage, graduating on time with over a year of college completed at CCD. Alan plans to further his education at CCD next fall with the goal of transferring to CSU in order to receive a bachelor's degree in health and exercise. Yasmin Pinky. Yasmin came to Denver Online in her sophomore year, and for the past year, in addition to completing a full schedule of online courses, she's also been going to school full-time at Emily Griffith with her buddy Sarah to earn her license in cosmetology. She's obviously her own best advertisement for her skills. She's not alone among her seniors in thinking that without the help of her math teacher, Miss Welp, she might not be here graduating today. Upon completion of her cosmetology license in July, she plans to get a job at a salon to make everyone look as lovely as her. I'm not sure she could do anything with this face, but if she could, she might earn the title of Miracle. Eunice Quinones. Eunice gets either the credit or the blame for bringing her boyfriend Marvin to Denver Online. I'll go with the credit. Eunice had a slow start this year as she worked to balance her full-time job and her schoolwork, but has managed to get back on track to graduate today. It's a good thing, too, because unlike most of her classmates who get to enjoy a relaxing, leisurely summer, Eunice is already enlisted in the Army and she ships out next week for basic training. But after putting up with Mars, that might just be a break after all. Mara Sterin. Mara is one of our first 4 seniors to graduate this year, having completed high school back in January by graduating in just 3.5 years. She was a member of the National Honor Society and works at Shanahan Steakhouse. If you're nice, you might get your reservation. Since she graduated, she's enrolled at Arapahoe Community College, where she plans to pursue a career in nursing. Abby Stillwell. Abby came to Denver Online from South High School at the beginning of her senior year because she felt she needed a new method of learning. Since then, she's been a quiet but consistent presence at school and a pleasure to get to know. It's not surprising that she was once nominated for a Colorado Youth Citizenship Award because she is responsible, accountable, and cares for others. Over high school, she's been in a number of school plays and musicals, and last semester she worked full-time at the Wizards Chest, and next year she plans to work and travel as much as she can before she settles down for college. Max Tremaine. came to Denver Online after living in Texas for the past 2 years and in Massachusetts before that. When he arrived in Texas, he was told he could not enroll in school there because he was not a citizen of Texas. What can you say? It's Texas. So as a result, Max had a 2-year hiatus from high school, making him our oldest graduate to have never failed a class. After such a setback, it would have been easy to just quit. But Max isn't a quitter, as you can see here today. Max attended the Community College of Denver this past spring and plans to either continue there or enlist in the military in the fall. Nareda Villalba. Like Mara, Nareda also graduated back in January after coming from TJ to finish up one last math class with Miss Welk. And although they worked closely together on that math class and Nareda put forth a great effort, they're actually meeting for the first time in person today. That's the beauty of an online school. Nareda works full-time and takes care of her little brother, and she plans to go to Emily Griffith Technical College next fall for cosmetology. Alexis Wolfson. Lexi came to Denver Online last year at the recommendation of her sort of stepsister, Sammy. It's a tongue twister. It was a good choice. After an initial adjustment period, her grades have improved dramatically this year as she's learned how to balance school and life. Lexi was only one of 2 seniors, along with Savvy, to participate in our school's first ever school play this spring. She plans to go to college next fall to become a radiology technician. Brittany Wyckoff. Brittany is one of the very few students who came to Denver Online and earned straight A's in her first semester, after struggling both academically and socially at her previous school. Being online, she has been able to support herself by working at Noodles & Company and support her family through transition. Although she was anxious, Brittany also took 2 college business classes at CCD this spring and earned A's in both. She plans to use her new business knowledge to work with her moms to start a new business operating a gourmet food truck. As a guy who doesn't miss many meals, I can't wait to try. Let's give one more hand to all the wonderful and unique students in the class of 2017.
Congratulations, class of 2017. You've all worked so hard to be here to this moment. As we finish the ceremony today, we cannot leave without some closing remarks from our principal, Ian Jones.
Thank you all for being here. It's just so exciting to watch these guys walk across the stage. Just great. So, good evening, graduates, Denver Online faculty, students, honored guests, parents, and friends. Thank you all for experiencing what is the most important day of the year at Denver Online. Thank you for celebrating this time with us. Thank you for your contributions in the lives of this incredible group of students. This year has been exciting. We've had several firsts. We celebrated our first spring musical, our first yearbook, our first signing day, and a variety of other firsts this year. We've made leaps and bounds in establishing a strong and positive school culture where kids can thrive. Because of you, we've seen our community grow, especially those of you who have spent a significant amount of time with us. I think I speak for the Denver Online team when I say that I'm hopeful that you found the high school of your dreams here. The best thing about this year is the opportunity we've had to see our students grow and develop. So our graduates, please accept my sincere congratulations and know that I breathe a sigh of relief with some of you. Getting here was easier for some than it was for others. For many of you who sit before me, the struggle's been real. But you persevered and you made it. I was talking with some of our staff last week as we banged our heads against the wall, watching the last few seniors pull the all-nighters that were needed to push them over the edge so they could sit with us today. The conversation moved from frustration to one of pride, as we are so proud of all of you, regardless of how bad it hurt to make it to this point. For some of you, you've learned a hard lesson about your capabilities, that if you truly commit to a goal, then nothing can stop you from achieving it. This is one of the most powerful lessons you can learn as you grow into an adult. You will need to draw on this experience, as you will most certainly face more challenges in your life. For those of you for whom this was easy, your time will come to learn this lesson. I promise. I learned my lesson in the first few years of college, and used the experience to help me get through graduate school while I was working full-time and helping to raise my first child. I'm honored to stand before you today as your principal to send you off with some parting words. I will try to be brief. The students and staff at Denver Online, you know this is a little difficult for me. On such a momentous occasion, it's difficult for me not to leave you with some parting words. This evening has been a celebration of the accomplishments and the unique stories of the fine members of the graduating class of 2017. Graduates, today is the day you celebrate and a day to think about what's next. Today, with a high school diploma in your hand, you've increased your options as you move forward in life and in your career. Over the next week or so, you'll likely have an increased amount of time to think, whatever that looks like. It may be accompanied by increasing your hours at work, taking care of siblings of your own, or your own taking care of siblings or your own small children. You might be looking for a job. For some, you may choose to take a vacation. Whatever you have planned or unplanned for the next week, I challenge you to reflect on the journey. Identify the learning that has occurred and think about what needs to happen to get yourselves to the next level. If there's one bit of advice I can offer you, it's to constantly reflect, constantly grow, and constantly push yourselves forward. Do more. Ask questions. Where are you now? Where do you want to be? How do you close that gap? Defining where you are now requires focus, honesty, and perspective. Note, multiple perspectives are helpful. Discovering where you want to be is never an easy question, as it requires patience, flexibility, and a realistic approach. Another note, as you approach adulthood, you'll likely realize that something that takes years to achieve can provide an impressive return on the time invested. You will benefit from continuing to learn. Finally, making a plan to close the gap is much less daunting if you know where you are and what you're seeking to achieve. Throughout your time here, we've consistently talked with you about the 6 pillars of success at Denver Online. Today, I offer a different perspective on those that may help you think about planning your next step, whatever it may be. As you move forward, start to reflect and choose the path in your educational and professional career. Please consider the next few thoughts. Number 1, attend. Whatever it is that you do, be present. Show up physically, mentally, and emotionally every single day. It doesn't matter what you do it well. This, my friends, is the path to opportunity and was summed up best by Martin Luther King Jr. in 1967. If a man is called to be a street sweeper, he should sweep the streets even as Michelangelo painted, or Beethoven composed music, or Shakespeare wrote poetry. He should sweep the streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will pause to say, "Here lived a great street sweeper who did his job well." My advice is to always attend to your present, as it will help you turn options into opportunities. If you're writing a paper in college, write it well. If you're applying for a job, be eager. If you have a job, be ambitious and be dependable. Always live your present knowing that you're shaping your future. Number 2, communicate. Grow, build, and use your network to seek options. Be clear about what you want. Be prompt with your response. Be professional in all forms, face-to-face, phone call, email, social media, and text. Most of all, be sure to listen. A mentor of mine once gave me some powerful thoughts about listening. His advice was, you have 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. Use them proportionately. Listening is the first and most important step of communicating, as it helps you to stay relevant, shape your argument, and build the foundation of positive relationships. In all of your communication, stay positive, solutions-focused, and always mindful of the relationship you're trying to build. A quote from the Buddha rings true. Whatever words we utter should be chosen with care, for people will hear them and be influenced by them for good or ill. Number 3, follow through. Do what you say you're going to do. Follow through. Be sure to finish everything you start as you've completed the first part of your education today. Follow through. Be dependable and avoid promises that you cannot keep or will not keep. Famous race car driver Mario Andretti said, "Desire is the key to motivation, but it's the determination and commitment to unrelenting pursuit of your goal, a commitment to excellence that will enable you to attain the success you seek. If you want something, be willing to take the steps to get it." CEO of American Express, Kenneth Chenault, offers, "Many people don't focus enough on execution. If you make a commitment to get something done, you need to follow through on that commitment." Today, you all have demonstrated that you have the ability to do this. Continue to follow through on every goal you set out to achieve, no matter how challenging the task or how long it will take. It will serve you well. Number 4, commit to growth. If you're moving directly to college or continuing to work in the workplace, I can promise you that someone will require you to keep learning. The same mentor from before, a former superintendent, gave me another piece of advice years ago, actually when I took this job. He said, "It's wonderful that you landed this job. Congratulations. What an opportunity for you. Keep in mind that whatever it is that got you this job is not what's going to help you keep it." We are in a world that values growth, academic growth, professional growth, and personal growth. Shoot, we're talking a multi-billion-dollar business industry and a focus across many organizations. Why? Because in the age of innovation, global competition, and change as the constant, the world doesn't see an end to improvement. We can always get bigger, better, faster, more, go, fight, win, all those things. A growth mindset is absolutely critical. There's always something new to learn. People who are inquisitive, creative, resourceful, and ready to learn are highly coveted. It's the reason the adults constantly argue about topics such as rigor, depth of knowledge, critical thinking, the application of knowledge. We've come to the realization that knowledge is free in this world. What you do with that knowledge is what's critical. Being able to develop solutions and adapt to new situations is very important, especially if you can do it efficiently. Benjamin Franklin once said, "Without continual growth and progress, such words as improvement, achievement, and success have no meaning." Number 5, always bounce back. I'm going to say something that may seem counterintuitive, but failure is part of the learning process, folks. Ask anyone who is successful in life or career whether he or she has failed, and the answer will be yes. The next thing you'll hear from the successful person is what they learned from the failure and how it played into their success story. The key to failing is to bounce back, be resilient. Realize and reflect on the failure, dust yourself off, stand up, and keep on moving. Philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "The greatest glory in living lives not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." This is so important, as we are all human and we all fail at some point. It's how we deal with it that matters. And last but not least is advocate for yourself. This is not easy, but it's absolutely critical. Asking for help when you need it is the only way to get what you want, to get what you need. Whether you advocate for yourself with a professor next year to get the help you need in a challenging class, or have to go to your boss to ask for time off, more responsibility, or more money, your ability to communicate your needs to others is critically important. Poet and author Maya Angelou said it best when she said, "I learned a long time ago that the wisest thing I can do is be on my own side, be an advocate for myself and others like me." Someone a long time ago told me that no one cares more about you than you. Advocating for yourself will make others care about you and help them help you. Go out and get yours. Get what it is that you need for you and your family. fight for your cause. This is the last point I will make as I close my remarks to this wonderful group of graduates. Explore your options. It doesn't matter if you don't know what you want to do when you grow up. Many of the people in this room don't necessarily know what they want to do when they grow up. The point is to find what you do. The point is to find what you love and do it, even if it changes a few years down the road. In fact, just do more. Do more to grow academically or professionally. Do more in your community. Do more in your life. Engage with your present. Stay connected. Keep promises. Never stop learning. Embrace failure. Advocate for yourself, your people, and your cause. Congratulations to you all. You continue to inspire my work. I'm grateful for the time that we have spent together. I cannot thank you enough. Congratulations, class. If I had a mic, I would actually, as the principal of Denver Online High School, I certified that these seniors have met all the requirements set forth by Denver Public Schools and the state of Colorado. I would like to invite Denver Public School Board Representative Lisa Flores to the podium to confer our graduates.
I'm the last thing that stands between me and podium.
So I'll make this brief but very important.
I hereby declare the class of 2017 to be graduates of Denver Online High School and Denver Public Schools. Students, you may now turn your tassels from the flag.
Thank you all so much for coming and celebrating with us tonight. And I ask that you please stay seated until all of our graduates have exited and also our faculty as well. And that you please join us in the reception directly following this. All right, thanks guys.